Hey everyone, Skoggle here. We are going to do a Pantheon versus Kayle. This is going to end up being an AP Kayle. Again, these are all high elo games, so we're talking Diamond, Platinum, wherever those lie out, different elo ranges. So this is why you would pick a Pantheon against Kayle, and this is how to do it. So I'm not just trying to focus on pick Pantheon against Kayle, I also want to show videos of why it works and how good it can be. So here they're going to use wards and be in a good position. They take over that jungle by doing that, and they're able to get a good invade. They're going to be able to steal the red buff, and he uses his ult, or not his ult, his passive to block some of that damage for Sejuani. So Sejuani can go smiteless, I believe. It happens. So here's Kayle. Kayle pushing because she was top and didn't have to be with that. She comes to the brush once, and this isn't from CC. This is just auto attack, spear, auto attack, ignite. So it's 2 auto attacks, 2 spears, ignite. And that's the end of Kayle. First blood. That's why you have to be aggressive early. And yeah, she pushed to the tower and he lost a little bit of creep golden experience, but he killed her, so she's going to lose more. And fortunately, he didn't lose much, and he's ahead now. So Kayle still won, he's 2. So that's part of why you go aggressive. He started with lots of mana pots and the crystal flask. The main reason to do this combo right there is just to have spears all day early game. You just don't run out of mana for your spears if you take 2 or 3 blue pots plus a crystalline flask. And you do enough damage because he has high base damages. He has enough damage at least in this matchup. I don't know if you want to do this against a tanky opponent that you can't really assassinate. That's probably not going to work so well. But now that you have the lead, if you are Pantheon and you get this small lead early, if you need a gank for it, call for a gank for it, but just ask for one gank early to help you set the snowball. Because if you get ahead early, you can shut her down and make her so she's not useful in mid and late game, or as useful. You'll be way stronger than her if you get that far ahead. And just, you have to be sparing her every chance you have. He's not trying to farm with this spear and stay back and safe. You're trying to be up in her face and throwing spears every chance you get. And remember, if your passive is active and you're watching, you can throw a spear or E harass her and take a block damage shot from the tower, and it doesn't matter. You don't even have to burn any potions, nothing. That's just free. It doesn't cost you anything. So just try to remember, keep poking at her. You want to be burning through any potions she may have as fast as you can. Especially, you just don't want her to be able to sustain. You don't want her to be able to farm and sustain. You can't. She'll be more useful than you later if you let her keep up with you. You can't do this lane to play even. This is the lane you play to win. It might take a few practice rounds and maybe see the video a couple times, but you should be very comfortable when they pick Kayle to run Pantheon, and if they run Kayle mid, you should run Panth mid, and if they run Kayle top, you could run Panth top. That's how comfortable you want to be in these matchups that we're trying to teach. So you can see how his passive blocks a lot of Kayle's damage that she uses to win her lane. His passive just sort of counters it. You have to play smart still and not just sit through tons of attacks, but you can block quite a bit of it while putting down. He's winning every trade basically, and he's not even up by that much. The key there was to get the second Q off before he E'd, because it does more damage, or you crit more when it's lower. I'd have to read it again. So how he wins this fight, if you want to know what happened, was he didn't actually run. He baited the fight out, but he baited it right into that large creep wave. That large creep wave comes, and Xin Shao is tanking the large creep wave, and that's why that fight turned, even though Pantheon was low, between his passive, his damage, and the creep damage. So here Sejuani's pushing out top really hard, going past the minions. So Pantheon's going to go gank, because with wards bottom, it's going to be really hard to gank bottom. I mean, if I hit F2 so you can see their wards, they didn't ward, but that's not my point. If they had wards, Sejuani would have a hard time ganking. bottom. Pantheon's not a fast jungler, but this is something you can do. Have your jungler hold top lane and go gank bottom lane, because that's part of why you love Pantheon in the jungle, is he can do crazy stuff like this, and he can just catch you out of position, and that gets the easy kill. Sejuani pushed so hard that he didn't even miss much top, and Sejuani got what he missed. So there was nothing missed for your team top, at least. So here, now you know, when I do bottom lane on this game, if you can link them up, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I got to show you something that Blitz did that you can do to find out if a bush is warded and you're not sure. I mean, you can also see by how they react, but if you walk with a creep wave on you, he's walking back to the tower, so it's not wasting any time. But if you walk, if the creep wave's hitting you, and you walk in the bush and the creep stop hitting you, there's no ward. If they keep hitting you, there's a ward. Just one way you can tell, so you don't waste time on a lane gank from your jungler. And you can just see he's so far ahead now that he can just go after her. So his skill order was Q first, W second, E third, and then Q fourth, and then Q fifth. So you don't go Q, W, Q, E. You go Q, W, E, Q, Q. And then obviously your ult when you can. Max Q first. I'm going to go until he takes the tower. You got a little bit of time because he's Pantheon and does cool stuff. Let's look at items really quick. So he's 4-0 and 34, and even though he's been roaming and all over and fighting, he has as many minions because he's zoned her that hard. So 1,600 to 3,000 gold. I mean, that is a crazy difference. But he has the Doran's boots, more pots, blue pots, mana pots, and the brutalizer compared to just double attack speed, swords, and some mana regen. So he's extremely far ahead, and they have the red timer, so they're going to go for it. And so now you have red buff on a lane that's winning, so that's going to work good. And since Xin Zhao was trying to find the timer, he gets caught trying to do it. He does the right thing and knocks Panth away, but the CC from Sejuani, maybe he should have knocked Sejuani away, because the CC from Sejuani just means you're not going to move and Panth will catch back up. So you might want to reconsider that. Although it's scary to let Panth sit on you. I don't know. He was probably screwed there. The best he probably could have hoped for was to return a kill. And so now it's double buff Pantheon. And that's, I mean, it was already a pretty bad lane. So you can see the burst with the stun and how little damage he takes from the tower because of the one block. The one block there just made the tower not that much of a threat. The stun gives him enough time to go, you stun and then you QE. Or you Q and then stun E. But you don't want to have your Q up when you hit E. So here, just doing the Pantheon thing. Win your lane, gank other lanes. And down goes Rise. Just once they get low, he does, I think he just crits with every one of his strikes on that thing. So he's going to be taken down by Xin Zhao, but he gets to return the kill, especially thanks to the Yorick ult, and then he gets to get some farm and get some free damage, and then he's going to go back. He's dead. We're going to speed up, go until he takes the tower. Now he's just, I mean, he gets like a long sword. He's like way ahead. He doesn't do any crazy ganks. 8-1 score. 54 to 47 CS. So he's winning CS on top of the hard score here. So yeah, he's gonna see Kayle at his tower. Kayle just has to leave. She can't stay near and pressure. She just can't be pushed against him right now. I think he's going to take the tower here, and then I'll just probably end this video, because all we really wanted to see is how lane matchups work. So, takes the tower, he's good, he wins his lane. Alright. Hope you learned something. Talk to y'all later.